Hey y'all, new day, new verses. Let's dig into 22 through 29. Here we go. And that's why it has taken me so long to finally get around to coming to you. But now that there is no more pioneering work to do in these parts, and since I have looked forward to seeing you for many years, I'm planning my visit. I'm headed for Spain, and expect to stop off on the way to enjoy a good visit with you, and eventually have you send me off with God's blessing. Bless you. First, though, I'm going to Jerusalem to deliver a relief gift to the followers of Jesus there. The Greeks, all the way from the Macedonians in the north to the Achaeans in the south, decided they wanted to take up a collection for the poor among the believers in Jerusalem. They were happy to do this, but it was also their duty, seeing that they got in on all the spiritual gifts that flowed out of the Jerusalem community so generously. It is only right that they do what they can to relieve their poverty. As soon as I have done this, personally handed over this fruit basket, I'm off to Spain, with a stopover with you in Rome. My hope is that my visit with you is going to be one of Christ's more extravagant blessings. And admittedly, this is kind of where the part where you definitely can tell that it's a letter. But there are lessons in this letter-esque part too. Lessons of, God-made plans and human-made plans. Because, depending on which school you go from study, this was written either before Paul's first trip to, or second trip to. That Philippians would either basically be written much after Romans was. And either way you look at it, I kind of admittedly think that whether it's going there the first time or the second time when he appeals before Caesar, either way you get to see that God is directing his feet. Because God is the one who has him in his hand. That's who he's trusting. He admits fully multiple times, God willing, hopefully do it this way. Trusting that the Lord will send him on his way. Wanting what we want, trusting the Lord will get us there and get it to happen. Because he still gets to minister to the people in Rome. It may not look the way he wants it to if this is the time he ends up in prison there. But either way, God is orchestrating for him for a place of ministry. Paul says it himself. They don't shut him up. They give him a pulpit. And it's a beautiful thing that we can release those ideas of plans to him. And it's not to say don't plan anything. It is wise to look ahead. It's also wise to release that need to God. Because what we think we need and what we know whom we need and what he knows we need might not always line up. Jesus says, or quotes Deuteronomy when chasing the devil off, that man lives on more than bread. And it's truth. So I think in this way, Paul is echoing the idea that he's praying that God would do it, but he's more trusting that it will play out the way it is meant to play out. That God is bigger than any circumstance he faces. The next little bit here, the wanting to hand over the fruit basket and being the idea to, the duty to do it. Well, it is. Not because, it's Jerusalem, but because God provides, if you have the means to bless. You don't have to look at it as because of something there. It's, all the benefits that come out of the Jerusalem community, the generosity that comes out of it. Yes, return the generosity. But more than that, live the Christ way of life, the way we're called to live, the life that pours out blessing, because we are blessed. And I think it's interesting that the term there poverty, because poverty of spirit and poverty of finance can look very different. And I think it's beautiful that they want to send a relief offering that can boost not just the fiscal, but the opportunity to see, yes, other people care for you too. And look, see, the word is coming true, that the Lord is reaching out to Judea, Samaria, and the ends of the earth. And it puts fire in their bones. And it certainly puts them in mine. I think it's beautiful that with these verses we can almost see that Paul's just kind of releasing it. He's trusting that God has us right where he wants us, to quote Ephesians. That he takes care of it. And I think that's one lesson we could pull from this last little bit of letter, is trust in the Lord, obviously, because, it's easier said, but it's not always easily done. And it is letting go of those expectations. Well, I expected to be there. Well, why? Was it your expectations or the Lord's? If it was the Lord's, well, you'll be there then, because He makes a way. If it's our own, why was it our own? What was it about? Because the Lord gives us these beautiful things in us that He wants to make bloom. The world tries to corrupt and change and, but God is the one working in us when we let Him. And I think it is quite lovely that in trusting the Lord to get Him where He's supposed to go, He's walking in the love that He's supposed to live. And I think it might be a call to do that too. I know it's just the wrapping up of a letter from the surface area, but there's more to dig into, more to pull out, that you can trust the Lord has us. As He has. He's never going to leave us or forsake us. He will direct our footsteps. He will make a way when there is no way. Because it's who He is. So we get to trust. And we get to return the blessing that is poured into us. We are blessed, so let us bless. We are loved, so let us love. We have been shown mercy, so let us be merciful. And if it seems a little repetitious in some regards of, saying the same of just love, well, God's been saying it for several thousand years, and we're still getting there. But we will. And that's the beauty of it. It's the journey with Him. When we let Him direct our steps. And we let Him show us how to pour out what He poured into us. I look forward to seeing you guys Monday to wrap up the last of chapter 14 and last of chapter 15 and move into chapter 16 on, Monday and Tuesday. Anyway, I'll see you guys then. God bless. May His favor be upon you. And have hope.